I know who I am.
When we are finished with you, you'll no longer be yourself.
Today we're going to be reviewing Jason Bourne. Just a heads up before I get into this, there will be spoilers ahead, so please, if you haven't seen it, click away, but before you do so, it may be worth watching this spoiler-free review that I made just recently. Jason Bourne picks up a good few years after the Bourne Ultimatum. We meet Jason Bourne, or David Webb, or whatever we're calling him now, at the Greek-Macedonian border in a fistfight for money. Nicky Parsons shows up after hacking some government Black Ops files, covering the infamous Treadstone project, right up to a new unheard-of operation called Iron Hand. From here, the film kicks off rather nicely in terms of solving a sequence of enigmas. As I said in my last video, I rate Jason Bourne a 6.4 out of 10, but I couldn't really go into the details of why I did this due to it being a non-spoiler review, but now I can give my reasoning. Jason Bourne has a subplot, quite a few of them. There's the whole James Bond Spectre-styled storyline of privacy evasion and people watching over everyone else. There's also the revenge aspect between Bourne and the Asset. A good amount of people have said they didn't like this, and that the subplots halt the main attraction of going to see the film in the first place, this being action, fight scenes, escaping government officials with those genius-inspired methods. I, for one, disagree. I enjoyed the many storylines. It kept me, as an audience member, more engaged. If I was to see a 2-hour and 3-minute film, I would want more from it than exactly the same content as the 3 predecessors. I say 3 because apparently we don't count the Bourne Legacy. Very rarely does a film come along where I enjoy watching the same scene over and over again. In this case, just running away from people and ending up fighting them. Duel is probably the best example of where watching the same scene over and over again does work, but that was just one solo film. If Duel was a saga, believe me, it would have got boring by the 3rd adaptation, let alone the 4th. I'm glad there is more to Jason Bourne than just running away and hiding, so I don't hold anything against the film in that respect. The issue I do have with the film, however, was the ending. I was totally led to believe that this was the final instalment of the Bourne films, the last in a quadrilogy, but the way it ended just didn't feel like Bourne delivered on his word that it all ends tonight. Heather Lee, played by Alicia Vikander, certainly made it clear that Bourne is still wanted and, if necessary, should be put down. Essentially, the chase is still on for Bourne going into hiding. Obviously this would be the case given his character, but the film made it seem like it was open-ended and ready for another film to slot in. How many times can you make a film about a character running away from the government and fighting assassins? I just fear that eventually, if more films come out, then a Bourne saga will be renowned for predictability over thrill. This would have been a good point to end it, and it didn't feel like it did. While we're on the topic of predictability, I was, not in a sadistic way, happy to see Nicky Parsons killed off. By doing so, it erased the predictability of Bourne on the run with a woman that would eventually turn into a romance storyline. I'm glad they cut that off, and doing it with what I feel is the best assassin of all the Bourne films. I did mention in the non-spoiler review that Vincent Cassel's performance as the Asset was one of the many highlights in this film for me personally. The fact that there was a revenge element to the plot between Bourne and the Asset really allowed Cassel to have his character apply aggression and personal desire in his order to kill Bourne. This unstoppable motive was seen very well in the car chase scene where the Asset was in the SWAT truck. I really did have a jaw-dropping moment when the Asset was just ploughing through the traffic, smashing the cars virtually into pieces. The car chase scene definitely adds moments of goosebumps to the film, should you not already have them. So there you go. Jason Bourne, a good, fun film. Similar to its predecessors with a hint of change, a great film if you're into the franchise, and well worth the money to see it on the big screen. That's all for now, thank you for watching, please hit like or subscribe on your way out, and be sure to return very soon for my next review, which at this rate will probably be Central Intelligence. Thanks again, and have a good day.
I'm in the CIA.
Are you joking with me right now?
Drop your weapon! Do it now! I got a plan. Might get us both killed, but if it works, it'll be a totally boss story. Cool?
No, it's not cool.
Cool.
No, I said it's not cool.
Do you remember those backflips you used to do? Let's do the flip. That was so close.